Hello everyone. Today we're going to try and tackle the combined army. The evolved intelligence is the alien AI that leads the Earth Hegemonic civilization, the most expansive empire in the known universe. Dozens of races and species are under the aegis of the Earth Hegemonic civilization, but this is not enough for the EI. Obsessed with its Project Transcendence, through which it aims to evolve to reach the higher plane of existence, its expansionist ambitions propel it forward to unstoppable waves of conquest. This annexationist tide is based on the power of its combined army, a cohesive military force that is an amalgamation of the best units from different races that make up the hegemonic civilization. United under the control of the EI, these units are the most powerful and effective war machine ever seen in the history of the universe. The combined army is often viewed as an amalgamation of troops from different species originating from the most desperate points of the universe, operating jointly under the strict control of the EI. However, this only happens on rare occasions. In spite of the EI's leadership and the points of commonality among the races under its control, the diverse alien species which make up the combined army tend to prefer to act alone. Whether following the orders of representatives of the EI or under their own control, the different racial armies that make up the combined army are fully autonomous. Each is well prepared to face a campaign alone, without the support of forces from other species, and none should be underestimated when they are deploying all of their resources and special abilities. It is precisely in the structure of each of these armies that the idiosyncratic characteristics of each race can be best appreciated. Compare the versatility of the Morad aggression force due to the balance of its different units with the more Sibylline Shasvastii or the mobility-focused Onyx contact forces. Different armies with different combat techniques and styles, but just as dangerous acting alone or together. You must not make the mistake of underestimating the forces that make up the combined army. Even when there is no EI aspect leading them, these armies have refined their tactical abilities through countless campaigns in service of the combined civilization, with a singular purpose of subordinating or destroying their enemies. The universe, vast and sprawling, constitutes the area of operations of the Earth Hegemony. Its boundaries are the only limits that the EI recognizes. The physical distance that separates the different star systems is inconvenient, but never an obstacle. One must only locate the appropriate wormhole to reach any place you wish to go to. Everything is just a matter of time. For an artificial entity such as the EI, time is neither lord nor master. To travel towards the center of a universe from the limits of the edge of its expansion is dangerous because of the tidal forces that plague the journey through the wormholes. Most ships that pass through these portals never reach the other side, destroyed by the punishing forces. But that is nothing more than a question of resources, and the EI has ample resources. Therefore, wherever the EI wants to get to, sooner or later it will arrive. It is a simple matter of time and resources. There is no civilization that is safe. There is no colony, citadel, or installation that is beyond its reach. If there is a record of their existence, the hegemony will get there. If you have left some trace of your wanderings in the cosmos, the EI will follow it. If you are hidden in a remote system, you will be discovered by its units of exploration, and then you will be contacted. When they are contacted, these civilizations enjoy the honor of a visit from a delegation from the Hegemony, headed by a plenipotentiary, a special shell of the EI used for diplomatic activity. In these cases, it is the EI itself which establishes contact and offers the opportunity to join the hegemonic civilization peacefully and voluntarily. The contacted stellar civilization has the opportunity to debate and discover the advantages of its annexation to its great galactic empire with the EI itself, without the need of intermediaries. However, there are civilizations which are not developed and have not yet managed to overcome the boundaries of their own system, and are therefore more difficult to locate. On the occasion the hegemony comes to know them through information. On occasion, the hegemony comes to know about them through information obtained from other races of stellar travelers who have been able to visit them and have records of their existence. but when there are no records, they will only be known when the cartographers, the explorers of the Earth Hegemony, reach their system. In their constant wanderings through the cosmos, the existence of cartographers is an endless search for new territories. The cartographers will conduct a preliminary analysis establishing a level of interest in project transcendence. They will determine the location on the map of the universe, and they will send the report to be studied by the EI. Always hidden and never detected, the cartographers are confined to high-level data gathering while avoiding any interference. Discretion and invisibility are their maxim and their modus operandi. Once they have completed their mission, they will leave the system without inhabitants ever knowing of their presence. But after them, if the EI gives the green light, the Onyx contact force will arrive. The Onyx contact forces are representatives of the EI to the new races and civilizations, designated for operations without immediate support. Composed of a selection of the best elite units from the combined army, the Onyx contact forces are an advanced combat group designed to perform aggressive, annexation or death diplomatic actions. The mission of an Onyx contact force is to establish contact with new races after peaceful annexation or association with the Earth Hegemony, and to threaten an aggressive annexation if the offer is rejected. In the event of another negative response, it is then their duty to carry out the annexation, and if that is not possible, annihilate the rebel species or hit it hard enough to give the combined army reinforcements time to get to the system to finish the operation. Onyx contact forces are found dispersed throughout the borders of the territories of the Earth Hegemony. They use light ships armed with jump ability capable of traversing wormholes and are always ready to follow traces left by the cartographer into the empty outer reaches. When the alarm sounds, the contact ship immediately takes off with its crew, prepared to expand the borders of the hegemony or to eliminate a possible enemy. The Onyx forces know that stupidity and ignorance are more abundant in the galaxy than wisdom. Although their job is to show all the advantages of being part of the hegemony, many species prefer to maintain their freedom and independence first and foremost and require education. Anyone who rejects annexation or association becomes an enemy of the EI. Today's minor enemy could be a terrible adversary tomorrow. Therefore, the Onyx contact force must make a demonstration of power. And if the enemy continues to be rebellious, it is then that their mission and their duty is to exterminate the maverick race. The annihilation of a species and civilizations is not what worries the members of an Onyx contact force. At the end of the day, they are led by Umbra, those who were known eons ago as Matzani, the ancient name that means the genocidal, a name which these beings enjoy honoring in the most ruthless way. The structure of contact forces varies according to the officers who are in command of the units available. However, it is normal to use teams mainly from the races that make up the combined army, working together as a small joint task force. This allows for more rapid integration with the reinforcement units that the combined army sends to consolidate the position established by the Onyx in the target system. The contact forces combat group on the ground uses infantry units and light armored artillery on a smaller scale than usual in the combined army. Its structure is based on principles of mobility and agility, making it vulnerable to long-term operation and exhaustive confrontations. For this reason, the Onyx operating tactics are based on activities of the psychological warfare and shows of force. As a result, this advanced group design has been conceived to fully exploit the capabilities of their tactical resources. To form a new Onyx element, special emphasis is placed on the integration of joint training of its units belonging to different races to form a unique element that is perfectly cohesive and autonomous. A contact force has all its material and logistical support necessary to complete its mission within a limited period of time, or to open a path for the forces that arrive afterwards. This autonomous characteristic gives an operational flexibility to the elite combat groups and is maintained by taking advantage of the special capabilities of each of the races that are a part of it. In this way, Onyx contact forces are small, well-oiled combat machines. This operating precision and the ruthlessness of its Umbra officers are essential for the success in their mission. Because acting far from the main forces and without any support, this may be the only thing that saves them from disaster in the event of an encounter with an indomitable race whose forces may have not yet been properly evaluated. Something that, in many ways, the Umbras are always hoping will happen, so they can act without restraint. The Onyx forces has sophisticated Harbinger-class exploration ships. These light ships are particularly fast and have stealth technology that enables them to circumvent orbital defenses and approach a planet invisibly, appearing suddenly and dramatically before the unsuspecting target. The function of these ships is to complete the data supplied by the cartographers in order to develop the most appropriate contact plan for their purpose. They will deploy invisible microships which will map a world, identifying the key points of its defense and collecting information with which to prepare a possible plan of attack. The storage holds of these class of ships are full of vehicles and clandestine insertion capsules in order to enable the deployment of spies and Shasvastii operatives that will serve as an advanced infiltration element. The contact ships also have both naval category and surface attack weapon systems. Although it is primarily light weaponry, insufficient in the event of confrontation against a superior class of combat ship, in general, it is more advanced and powerful than those it can be deployed by a species they contact. The armament of the Harbinger ships is divided between those designated to destroy planetary defenses and those designated for shows of force, and those which are designed to facilitate a quick exit. The latter consists of numerous remote microships that will create a screen between hostile forces which have been revealed to be superior in the Harbinger ship while it tries to abandon the system. All of the Harbinger-class ships have jump ability to be able to pass through wormholes that will link the systems of the hegemony with that of the newly located species. The jump engines of this class are reinforced in order to give their crew better chances of survival in the face of tidal forces that plague the transit towards the systems located closer to the galactic center. The operational profile of these ships is not related to exploration, a task that falls to cartographers. They are not usually visible in space, constantly sailing, waiting at border ports, or in multiple connection nexus to be assigned contact missions, except when they are in the shipyard for repairs or maintenance. The Harbinger ships deployed in frontier ports are always at a medium alert level, ready to leave as soon as they are ordered to. Both the ship and its crew and troops must be prepared at all times to leave for a mission in a period that varies 3 and 48 hours, depending on the established alert level. This is because the expansion of the Earth Hegemony cannot be seen to slow by even the slightest amount, according to the dictates of the evolved intelligence. Since not much is known about the Combined, this isn't going to be as long, but I figured I would let you in on the two species that make up the main body of the Combined Army. And so we have the Morat and the Shasvastii. Considered a plague by the rest of the universe, the Morat are a militaristic race par excellence. These aggressive and violent aliens have become the main shock force of the Combined Army, above all other species part of the forces in service to the EI. The appearance and brutal character of the Morats can make you believe that they are warriors extracted from yesteryear, where ambition and honor drove long campaigns of conquest. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Morat were like this once and almost became extinct because of it. But they knew how to change, to channel all that aggression, use it to build an equally expansive but strictly militarized social structure. The Morat are professional soldiers. They obey the chain of command and fight following orders received, until the bitter end if necessary, as is expected of those who have consecrated their lives to the craft of war. Neither honor nor personal glory exist for the Morat. Everything is subject to the regiment of which they are a part of and the race to which they belong. A military profession is the most important for the Morat because they believe it is the only one that can make your civilization grow. In this way, their entire society is structured around the army. The Morat Aggression Force. Their leading class comes from the upper mobility echelons and guides Morat civilization following the dictates and creed of the combat doctrine. Thanks to this severe militarized structure, the Morat managed to avoid annihilation and reach the stars. Going out into deep space expanded the vision and objectives of the race, which would continue with its program of annexation and slavery from system to system until it crossed paths with the EI, which decided to turn it into a main tool of conquest. However, being part of the hegemonic civilization has not changed anything for the Morat, who continued to be the most violent and aggressive creatures in all known space. Only now they fight in the service of the EI, as long as it remains strong. Alright, I'm going to do something a little different. There's even less known about the Shasvastii. So, to let you in a little bit on what they are and how they work, I'm going to read a report presented by Colonel Marriott Wingcoop of the Bureau Aegis to the Security Council of the O12 in closed session. Now, you have to be in the alpha echelons of security to have this report, so be thankful I got this for you.
It's obvious that the infiltration of the Shasvastii troops into Paradisio system began months before the attack of the Combined Army's fleet happened. Not expecting our defenses to prevent any intrusion from the deep space, the Shasvastii Ghost microships cleanly crossed the defensive ring around the planet. Shasvastii operatives compiled information and intel about our organizations and our defensive systems. They located and identified high-value strategic targets preparing for the attack of the alien forces. Metamorphic agents infiltrated our lines, assuming the identity of personnel with high-level information or facilities access. Unfortunately, it's almost impossible to establish the degree of Shasvastii infiltration we have suffered amongst our staff. We don't know the number of sleeper agents that may be even now in the DCO system. And what's worse, we don't know how many of them have been able to pass into the rest of the sphere, and where and how high in human society they may have reached. And that is a serious threat for the security of the entire human race. Biometric identity controls have been established in all Paradicio's relevant facilities and in the main power centers of the sphere. Random and surprise analysis are performed on the personnel of Paradicio's military and scientific industrial centers to try to locate any possible infiltrated impersonators. However, all these measures, if relatively effective, cause great psychological attrition amongst our personnel, increasing the levels of fear and paranoia. To increase security measures has a demoralizing rebound effect on our troops, which is probably part of the Shasvastii's plan. So inevitably, we're playing their game. Nevertheless, our problems are not just with the speculo killers that may be operating in the sphere, as fearsome as they are. Because of their own nature, they have to be few in number. Recent reports have alerted us to the presence of Shasvastii troops operating on Dawn. Though right now it may be something anecdotal, it is also symptomatic of the Daybreak blockade having leaks. And the questions we have to ask ourselves are, is this the only blockade that has leaks? How many Shasvastii ghost microships have been able to cross our blockades? And how long will we be able to restrain them? Alright, that's it for this week, folks. I promise we will have another video next week for the TOA. There'll be a more constant stream of them in the near future. If you like tabletop gaming, comics, movies, laughing, any of that stuff, check out our tabletop gaming and podcast channel, The Tabletop Talkers with a Z. If you like the Iron Kingdoms, Mormon Hordes, and its lore, check out our sister channel, Allocating Focus. If you like taking a little puff and watching some movies, and you want to see us review some movies, check out our movie review channel, Wax On Reviews, the only movie review channel 100% fueled by marijuana extracts. That's it for this week. I'm Commissar Wood.